Making Professional Connections. My name is Mary Ellen Schroeder. I'm the Director of Career Development. I'm going to have my coworkers introduce themselves as well. Rebecca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca, the Internship Manager in Career Development.
And I'm Meg Gatterman, the Student Outreach Manager here at Career Development.
Thanks, Meg. And you are in Making Professional Connections. This is the last of our class of 2021 senior series. We've been recording the sessions and they'll be available on our YouTube channel. So we're going to take ourselves off camera and get started. And I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so as I said, this is Making Professional Connections. And what we're going to be covering today are just the reasons why you would want to start building your network and meeting people. Also giving practical tips on how to find connections, how to reach out to them, and how to maintain the relationship. I think when people think about networking, I think a very common misconception is that you're just kind of walking up to random people and introducing yourself. You're hoping that they like you and that maybe they'll tell you about a job. But that's not what networking is. So let me tell you what it is. It's really just building and maintaining professional relationships. So when you think about your classmates and how you've interacted with them over the years at MassArt, you know, you probably talked about your major, different projects, you maybe collaborated on certain things, and your friends may have recommended you to have it, you know, look for a job on campus or a job that they knew about, or a class that you may have taken, you recommended to another friend. Maybe you were at a party and it became an unexpected networking opportunity. And maybe the conversation was, what projects are you working on right now? And then you and someone else had decided that you were going to collaborate together because you have complementary skills. So those are all networking behaviors. You're probably doing it already and not even thinking about it. So what I want you to do is kind of switch your view from thinking about your school friends as just your classmates and more about being your colleagues. And we're also going to talk about how you can actually expand your circle. You're probably connected in ways that you hadn't really considered before through your peers, maybe through internships and internship supervisor or other interns from other schools, your professors. I'll give you an example. I co-teach a class called Financial Literacy and Careers. And the first class that we taught was about 5 years ago. And a student who was one of my former students, just yesterday, I found a fellowship for furniture makers. And I thought I should send this to Matt. So I sent him a quick email, hope everything's going well, thought of you when I saw this. So that is a networking behavior that I saw something that I thought would be helpful to him, and I was passing it on to him because he had already shared with me what he was interested in doing. MassArt alums can be very helpful to you, former class, you know, they might be former class speakers, or you can find them on LinkedIn, and we're going to be covering that today. So just kind of think about all the different ways that you interact with people and how that can expand your potential circle of contacts. And this is the reason why you want to do this, is that networking is a large percentage of people find their jobs through networking, and 80% of job openings are never posted. So it's very common for people to ask other people, do you know anybody who you think would be good for this? So you want to be in the loop, you want to be connected to people who have information. So you don't want to just limit your job search to simply responding to online postings. So here are the benefits of networking. As I said, you can easily lead to collaboration on different projects, leads to more conversations. Maybe during the course of this conversation, they mention somebody and then they say, you know, I really should introduce you to so-and-so. I think they could be very helpful to you. It, of course, can lead to job leads, but you need to be curious and you need to be invested in it. So we're going to talk a little bit about finding a professional community. And you definitely want to get engaged. So connect with your MassArt friends. You can join a group on LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Attending events related to your professional interests, get involved, and finding online groups with shared interests, maybe through Facebook and LinkedIn groups. The more you get involved and engaged, the people that you meet are going to have similar interests, and the more likely you are to hear about opportunities. And here are just some easy ways to network. MassArt alums, think about your friends who maybe are not at MassArt, or family, and your friends' family, and who do they know? Groups, as I've said, are very helpful. And then any activities, projects, volunteer work can also lead to opportunities. So how do you find them? So I'm going to bring you into LinkedIn, and we're going to go and see how LinkedIn works. And I'm going to give you a few guidelines about how to find people. So in general, what we're going to do is once we get in there and we find alumni from MassArt, you definitely want to kind of contain your search. So for somebody who's just graduated in 2021, I would say anywhere from like 3 to 5 years out is probably a good span of time to look at MassArt alums who might be helpful to you. They're going to be a little further down the road in their career that they would have experienced what a new entry-level candidate is going to experience. So that's probably a good time frame, and it will help, as I said, kind of contain the search for people. And you want to get your results down to about 50-ish people that you can skim through. If you have like 400 results popping up, it's way too many to be looking through. And then, of course, use keywords to refine your search. So why don't I reduce the screen? I'm going to bring us into LinkedIn. So now we're in LinkedIn, and this is what your page is going to look like. Hopefully, you definitely have a LinkedIn profile. And if you don't, one of the first sessions that we offered for our series was Handshake 101 with Meg Gatterman. And she talked about how to think about your handshake profile and the information that you would need in it. And that same information you can mirror in a LinkedIn profile. So you don't have to do it twice, just do it once, thinking through very intentionally, what do I want to say about myself? You can create your handshake profile, and then of course you can create a LinkedIn one as well. So let's assume that you already have it and you're putting in Massachusetts, whoops, spell it right, Massachusetts College of and okay, so it's coming up as Massachusetts College of Art and Design as a company. You would also see this as a school. This is different than the alumni group. This is an important group that you would want to know about, but this is the one that you want to select if it's a school or company. So this is what the MassArt page looks like. And you can see that there are over 14,000 alumni who are connected on LinkedIn. So what we're going to do is go into this part of the page right here. And you might be familiar, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you probably looked for jobs. We're going to be looking for alumni. Okay, so as I said, there's 14,555 alumni on LinkedIn. So we're going to put in our start year of 2013, and then we're going to put it to 2018. because that's our 5-ish span of years that we're looking at. And you can see that it's 4,498 alums, still way too many to be looking through. So let's assume that you're a painting major and you're very interested in doing murals as one of the jobs that you're interested in doing after graduating. So we're just going to put in mural here. And 58 alums are coming up with mural as a keyword in their profile. So what you can see is LinkedIn will show you where they live. United States, there's 36 in the greater Boston area, and it goes on down the list. It even gives international results here. If you come over here, this is where they work. And if we click this button, the next button, it will tell you what they do. This is fairly general in terms of different industries. And then what they studied. So you can see the different majors that they had. And then if you go over here, these are the kind of top skills that they have, and then how you're connected. So let me just say a few words about being aware of how you're connected on LinkedIn. So if you have a first level contact, that means that you had sent a message to that contact and they had accepted it. And you are connected, both of you, through LinkedIn. If you connected with me, then all of my first contacts become your second contacts, because it's just that one ring out from the first contact. So you didn't specifically connect with them, but you are connected to them through me. And then a third contact would be those second level contacts then become third level contacts for you. So having a first or second level contact is helpful to you. So for those 58 alums that had indicated mural as a keyword in their profile, there are 9 who are first level contacts for me, and 35 who are second, and 12 who are third. And if you want to know who they are, all you have to do is scroll down. And you will see their profiles come up for you. So you're a painting major and you're looking at this and you're like, hey, wait a minute, here's Pierre Victor, who graduated from painting in 2013. So you would click on Pierre, and then you could kind of take a look at his profile and see what he did. So he has images of his work here. Go down a little further, and it looks like he has his own business. He's a fine art artist, photographer, artist. We know that he has done murals in the past. And maybe when you look at his profile, you're thinking, I've thought about having my own studio. I've thought about being, just creating my business from the work that I create. I wonder if he'd have some helpful information about what it's like to set up a studio, how he finds clients, where most of his clients are, and how long has he been doing this, and how long did it take before it really kind of took off. So you could look at somebody's background, and it may make you think of questions that you would like to ask him if you met him. So that's where the mural artist came in. This was a mural that he had done in high school right afterwards, and that's why he popped up. And you could see the image here. And then when we go down a little further, it confirms that he is a Mass Art graduate from 2013. He went to Malden High School. Maybe you went to Malden High School too. And then if we go down a little further, here are people who have made recommendations about him, saying how nice it was to work with him, and comments about him as an artist. And then when you look under interests, this is where his connections are through groups. So let's take this one, for instance, abstract art. If you click on this, it tells you more about the group. And then you could click on see all, and it tells you more. So if you wanted to join a group of people who are very interested in abstract art, this would be one possibility for you, and that they give guidance as well as network with one another, which is your goal, of course. So groups are very helpful. We're going to go back, and we'll go back one more. And we're going to scroll down that list again and see who else has popped up. So here's some other options here, and you can certainly click on any of their profiles. And here's another painting major. This is Stefania. So if we click on her, and then we scroll down, we use that keyword of mural, and you can see as an artist assistant for arterials, when she works in the greater Boston area, that mural arts was the first thing that is mentioned in this job description. So you've really kind of hit on a Mass Art alum who could probably offer you really helpful advice. So let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. And we found our contact. It's Stefania. She's the one that we would like to talk to. And now it's, what do you say in your message? She doesn't know you, you don't know her, but you want to make a connection. So first of all, you're going to need to have a LinkedIn profile in order to send a message. And you want to keep it short. You only have 200 characters available to you to send your message. So you're going to need to be concise. Indicate how you found them. Obviously, you found them on LinkedIn. And do you have a connection? Did somebody recommend Stefania? Is it because you're a fellow Mass Art alum? That would certainly be a nice connection that you could mention. And all you're doing is you're just asking one question that you think that they can help you with. Let me go on the presenter's view, sorry. It's a little larger for you to see. So you're asking that one question that you think they can help you with. And it's not, do you know of a job? That is not the point of networking. It's to gather more information and kind of test your assumptions about things, and also to gain information to help you along the way. And then you're going to suggest a meeting. So here's an example. Basically, you're going to have a better chance of them responding to you if you send a personalized message, not just, hey, can I connect with you? So you would introduce yourself, that you found them on LinkedIn, that you are also a Mass Art alum. So there's the connection, something you have in common, and that you were a painting major graduating this year. And that your one question is that you want to ask them about their career creating murals, that they're not the only person that you're considering, but you're reaching out to other alums and you're asking for that information. And the reason why you're asking her is because she mentioned that skill in her job with arterials, and you're wondering, would you be open to a short Zoom chat? So then you're thanking her at the end and then you can send it off. So it's short, sweet, it gets to the point, and this is how you're kind of checking it out. So your goals with this is to request a 20 to 30-minute conversation, and you're looking for that additional insight and perspective. Challenging your assumptions. I have had people say to me, I feel like I have 75% of all the skills needed to be a UX designer. And I'm like, that's great. Do you know what a UX designer does? Yes, I absolutely do. I would still recommend that that person would interview somebody who actually does the job, with the premise of, I feel that I have very strong skills in this area. I think I have a good idea about what it's all about, but I wanted to talk to somebody who actually does the job, because I'm sure that there are things that would surprise me. I would love to hear more about what your experience is like as a UX designer. Can you tell me more about that? So even though you feel like you know it really well, you're kind of inviting yourself to be vulnerable in many ways, to just kind of say, I want to challenge myself and say, do I really get it? You also are looking for those unexpected insights, that there are things that you could find out that you just didn't know if you hadn't spoken with somebody. And when you start meeting different contacts, you can compare the information between them and see if there's consistency in what they're telling you. And if they recommend, if somebody says to you, I really think that you should meet somebody, I encourage you to always say yes, because you never know. Sometimes information comes from the most unlikely places, and that people will drop information that you were like, wow, and you were just, you wouldn't have found out any other way. Here's the part about how to maintain a relationship. So remember I mentioned in the very beginning of the PowerPoint that I had forwarded on an email to a former student. It was about a fellowship. That is an example of how to maintain a relationship. We're probably in touch maybe once a year, but he's part of my network and I'm part of his. If somebody helps you, always send a thank you note. It's really important. People remember people who are nice and thank them for the time that they took to talk to them about what they're interested in. And like I said, that example of passing on, it could be an article, it could be a job lead, it could be anything. You know, you mentioned this about yourself and I saw this link and I thought you might be interested, and thanks again for meeting with me. It was really helpful. And as I said, Alumni Relations has its own group on LinkedIn and you can request to join that as well. So that's what I have for you in terms of just kind of basic information about networking and how to get started. I'm going to say thank you very much for coming. Oh, thumbs up, thank you. And if you have any questions, as I said, please make an appointment and we'll be happy to help you. We're here all summer.